Hello students, welcome to everybody. My name is Nishant. I am going to teach the biology chapter reproduction in plants. The reproduction in plants is classified into two different types: asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual. The different types of asexual reproduction are: one is fission, another one fragmentation, third one budding, fourth one regeneration, and the fifth one is vegetative propagation. And last one, spore formation. Let us see the first one, fission. The fission is seen in unicellular organisms. The fission is of two different types: binary fission and multiple fission. Binary fission, in case of amoeba, the two amoebas are divided. The unicellular amoeba divided into two with the help of binary fission. The another example of unicellular organism that show binary fission is Leishmania. Leishmania is commonly called as Kala Azar. Next, multiple fission. This multiple fission is seen by the unicellular organism Plasmodium. It is called as malarial parasite. Where the Plasmodium divides into many plasmodiums. Next, after fission, the next one is the fragmentation. The second one, fragmentation. Now, this fragmentation is seen in the Spirogyra. The Spirogyra is multicellular algae, where the broken fragment develops into the new Spirogyra. The broken fragment develops into new Spirogyra. That is called fragmentation. The broken fragments develop into the new Spirogyra. Next, third one, regeneration. The fragmentation we are seeing in plants, if the broken fragment develops into the new organism, if that broken fragment develops into new organism in case of animals, that is called as regeneration. The regeneration is seen in Hydra and it is the regeneration is also seen in planaria. The planaria is the round one. Regeneration is seen in hydra and planaria, where the broken body part regenerates into the new organism. Next one, fourth one, it is the vegetative propagation. Vegetative fragmentation. Now, vegetative propagation. The examples for vegetative propagation is grafting or layering. Where in grafting or layering, we are producing the new plant. The new plant is propagated from either shoot or leaf or root. Now, the plants that show grafting or layering it is seen in the rose plant and sugarcane. The rose plant and sugarcane shows the grafting or layering. We are producing the new plant from shoot or leaf or root. Next one. Budding. The body outgrowths are formed by the cellular divisions. These body outgrowths are called buds. These buds are formed in hydra. So, if you see the hydra, in case of the hydra, the body outgrowths are formed. Now, this is the hydra, and these are the tentacles. This hydra shows body outgrowth. For example, this is the outgrowth called bud. This is the bud. So, a bud is an outgrowth. A bud is an outgrowth of body formed by repeated cellular divisions. So, if the animal like hydra shows bud and this bud will separate and will be pinched off from the main body and separates. After separation, the new bud fall on the suitable substratum and goes into a new organism. So, this is called budding. Next, sixth one, spore formation. The spore formation is seen in the fungal member. Example, rhizopus. Now, this is the rhizopus. This rhizopus is commonly called as bread mold. It is called as bread mold. So, you see the bread mold. This is the rhizopus. Bread mold. This rhizopus bread mold shows thread-like structures. These thread-like structures are called as hyphae, fungal hyphae. This is the rhizopus. The rhizopus shows thread-like structures called as fungal hyphae. These hyphae produces an outgrowths at its tip. These outgrowths formed at its tip are called as sporangia. They are called as sporangia. Inside the sporangia, spores are produced. Inside the sporangia, the spores are producing. These are called as spores. Now the spores are released from the sporangia and the spores develop into new fungal hyphae or new rhizopus. The spores are covered with a thick cell wall. All the spores are covered with thick cell wall. This thick cell wall protects the spores from our free environment. That is the spore formation. So these are the 6 types of asexual reproduction. What are the 6 types of asexual reproduction? One is the fission, second one is the fragmentation, third one regeneration, fourth one budding, and fifth one vegetative propagation, sixth one is the spore formation. Next, sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction in sexual reproduction, there will be the union of gametes from 2 different sexes. Union of gametes from 2 different sexes or 2 different individuals from 2 different individuals or sexes. Now let us see the sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Here, as a union of gametes from 2 different sexes is seen, genetic variations will occur. So in sexual reproduction, genetic variation will be seen. Genetic variation is seen or observed. Because of the genetic variation, new morphological forms are produced in the offspring or next generation. New morphological characters are producing. New morphological characters are producing in the offspring or the next generation. So let us see the sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Now we see the pistil or carpel, the female pistil or carpel, the female reproductive part of the flower. The group of pistils or carpels forms the gynoecium. The pistil or carpel, it is having 3 different parts. The first part is the landing platform for the pollen, which is called as stigma. Stigma, which is the landing platform for receiving or for landing the pollen grains. And next one is the elongated tube-like structure. The elongated tube-like structure is called as style. It is called as style. And the style at its base, it is having swollen. It is having swollen oval-shaped structure or swollen outgrowths called as the ovary. The ovary. Now, this is the stigma, style and ovary. The stigma receives pollen. The stigma receives pollen by pollination. So the stigma receives pollen by pollination. This is the pollen. The stigma is the landing platform that receives pollen. After landing on the stigma, the pollen develops the pollen tube. The pollen develops the pollen tube. Now this pollen tube at its tip, it is having or carrying two male gametes. Two male gametes. Two male gametes. It is carrying. Now this pollen tube will be migrating or will be growing towards the ovary, where the ovary consisting of the ovule, the ovary consisting of the ovule. Now this is the ovule. This is the ovule. Inside the ovule, it is having the embryo sac. This is the embryo sac. Okay, this is the ovule and embryo sac. Embryo sac. The embryo sac carries the egg or the female gametophyte. Egg or the female gametophyte. Egg. It is called as the egg or female gametophytes. Egg or female gametophytes. Female gametophytes. Now, because the embryo sac releases certain chemicals. Because of these chemicals, the pollen tube. Now, the tube generated by the pollen is called as pollen tube. The pollen tube is attracted towards the ovule because of the generation of the certain chemicals by the embryo sac of the ovule. So this pollen tube, this is called pollen tube. The pollen tube carrying the two male gametes reaches the embryo sac, where these male gametes fuses with the egg to form the zygote. The male gametes fuses with the egg to form the zygote. Now the male gametes fuses with the plus female gamete, which is called as egg to form zygote. To form zygote. Now the process is called as syngamy. The process is called as syngamy. Syngamy means male gamete of pollen plus egg of ovule. Egg of ovule plus means fusing to form zygote. To form is equal to zygote. That is called as syngamy. Now the zygote develops into the seed. This zygote develops into seed. Zygote develops into the seed. Now the seed is protected by seed coat. Protected by seed coat, and the complete ovary, the ovary consisting of ovule, the ovule develops into fruit. Ovule develops into the fruit. Next one, pollination. Pollination. Pollination means when the receiving of pollen by the stigma of pistil is called as pollination. Pollination is the receiving of pollen by the stigma is called pollination. Pollination is the receiving of pollen by stigma of pistil is called as pollination. The pollination is of two different types mainly. Self-pollination and cross-pollination is of two different types. Self-pollination and cross-pollination. Cross-pollination. Self-pollination means the pollen from the flower pollinates with the stigma of the same flower. Pollen and stigma. Pollen reaches the stigma of same flower. Pollen reaches stigma of same flower. Next, cross pollination means pollen reaches the stigma of another flower. Pollen reaches stigma of another flower. Now, in order to have pollination, some pollinating agents will be helpful. The pollinating agents may be the wind, the pollinating agents may be insects, the pollinating agents may be the water. In order to have the pollination, certain agents are helpful. The agents that help pollination are called as pollinating agents. The pollinating agents are wind, water and insects. Lastly, the plants may be unisexual or bisexual. Lastly, the plants may be the unisexual or bisexual. The unisexual plant will produce unisexual flowers. The bisexual plant will produce bisexual flowers. Unisexual flowers are seen in unisexual flowers. The unisexual flowers are seen in papaya. Bisexual flowers. The bisexual flowers are seen in hibiscus. In unisexual flower, there will be either the stamen or the carpel. In unisexual flower, there will be either stamen or carpel. In bisexual flower, both the stamens and carpels are present. I repeat, in unisexual flowers, both the androecium and gynoecium both are present. Both are not present. In unisexual flower, either the androecium will be present or the gynoecium will be present. In bisexual flower, both androecium and gynoecium are present. So this is about the reproduction in plants. So the reproduction in plants is classified into asexual and sexual. In case of asexual reproduction, there will be no union of gametes. As there is no union of gametes, no variation, no genetic variation will occur. In sexual reproduction, there will be a union of gametes. Because of that one, there will be the genetic variation. So thank you everybody.